I think we have a lot of people in here now.
Yay, so fun.
Joining us. So how many people do we have? I think 16 is what I'm seeing, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing everybody. Anyway, I'm really excited you all are joining us. Thank you so much for coming. We were a little afraid we'd show up and be here all by ourselves, but that is obviously not the case. So this is great. Yeah. We would love to do this maybe regularly if people like this, and we can mess with the format. We were originally going to try to just have the three of us on the screen, although it's really cool to see everybody else's faces. So I'm kind of liking that. But all kinds of technological difficulties, way more than I could have expected, given how easy it is to just stream on, Instagram. But yeah, we're excited you're here. We thought we'd just start with just a little bit of chat, and then we can hop into our first sprint in a couple of minutes. What's everybody working on? What are you guys going to work on tonight? Just hop in.
Or in the chat.
Yeah, or type, whatever.
I'm totally working on Christmas cards tonight.
Oh, awesome.
That's really organized too. Doing them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who else?
Going to work on my current work in progress. Last night I had this realization though that I need to completely change everything from the beginning to make it a little more like take it to the next level. So I'm gonna start that.
I have done that lots of times.
It'll be worth it.
You'll be glad you did. Yeah.
That's great. Sarah, what are you going to work on?
Oh my gosh, someone's got a baby. Hello, baby. Love babies. I was a labor and delivery nurse, and it was like it satisfied all the like maternal longing after I had my own babies, and I didn't want any more of my own. I could like handle the babies, but now I'm not anymore.
I thought I was on mute, but I guess I'm not. That's my little buddy Archie. Hi, Archie. Here on the Moms Writers Club.
Not mad about it. That's an awesome voice to hear. It's like Katie's got revisions, Bethany has revisions.
Yeah.
Alexis is working on a new story. Got a super long head. I can totally.
That's awesome.
My daughter's yelling for me right now, right outside the door.
Yeah, we've got some NaNoWriMo going on too.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to start this month, since people are doing that. Yeah, I'm working on my book 2, and I feel like I just like this week got a foothold in it. I don't know, the beginning for me is always like super amorphous and foggy and smoky and weird, and I can't just get my bearings at all for months at a time sometimes, and I just feel like I've kind of grabbed onto something, so I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm excited to read it. Sarah's a really incredible author, you guys, and I'm so excited for her book to be out in the world. Okay, well, let's get started with our first sprint. We're 5 minutes in now. Let's just start with 15 minutes to kind of warm up, and then we can take a quick break and do another one. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone, if I can find the clock on my phone. Okay, 15 minutes. Ready, set, go. Oh. They're being removed. All right. We are done with the first sprint.
Woohoo!
Hey.
Wow, it doesn't feel like very long, does it?
I know. It's just a warm up. We'll go longer next time.
Makes
How'd
me-
everybody do? You get your words in?
Does anybody else use Scrivener word counts? Because I got more than half of my word count for the day, which was pretty good for me in 15 minutes. I don't
What,
usually.
15 minutes? What's
Yeah.
your workout for the day?
It's not that much. It's only what I'm trying to do 800, but I only have to do 775, and I got over 400, which is pretty good for 15 minutes.
That's great.
Okay.
Pauline says that it felt like a long time.
Yeah, because I guess it's like 20 minutes of no distractions. So it's like pretty sweet.
I got
Yeah.
I got 51 words.
That's good.
That's
You were
great.
probably thinking them through more than I was thinking mine.
I'm at kind of a naughty place. Not naughty, like naughty.
Naughty.
Naughty. No, the naughty
Did
stuff.
someone say no distractions? Because my kids are screaming out there.
Mine are too. Yeah, I can hear
I was
my
about to
husband.
say, like, my one kid's about to start screaming, so we'll see how this goes. But I got close to 400 words, so I'm pleased.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Anybody else want to chime in?
I'm editing, so I went through like a couple pages, so it's a little bit
Good.
different.
That's really good.
That's great. Deanna got 48.
I'm outlining, so yeah. You
Yeah.
all saw my thinking phase.
I know, I love the thinking phase. Like I'm not the only one who looks like this.
I got
I
some
was like, where do I move this? What?
Susan, did you say something?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize anybody else was still talking. I got about 250.
That's great.
Good.
For 15
really
minutes, it's awesome. Katie got 890. If there was an award, she would get it.
Whoa,
Oh.
beast.
You win.
Beast
I write
mode.
really fast.
719 in the chat, and Heather edited a chapter, which is very impressive. Both of
That's
those.
awesome. I wish we had a
Oh.
better way of calculating the editing. Belinda got 300.
Woo! Awesome.
Everybody's doing so great. All right. Does anybody want to do any Q&A, or do we want to dive right back in? It's a lot of silence, you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're diving right back in. Yeah, good. Okay, let's do 20 minutes this time. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Cool.
Nobody said no, so I guess so.
All right. So we're gonna do like till 9:45 Eastern.
Right.
Yes.
6:45 Pacific.
6:45 Pacific. Ready, set, go.
Okay, cool.
All right. How'd we do?
I got to my word count for the day, which is super cool because I have a lot to do after this. So
That's awesome.
that's good.
I wrote 138 words and then deleted them.
Oh, well,
which is kind of how I roll. So
But you had to write them to like figure out your
process. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I come from like I was a musician before I was a writer, and you just got to play a really lot of notes.
Right.
To learn how to play an instrument. So I figure the same is true with words, and it's the way it goes.
Save them in the deleted folder. That's always a good idea. I got about 500, but it's all kind of like pre-writing. I won't use any of it, but figuring something out. How did everybody else do?
I finished editing the chapter I was working on and started on the next one.
Woohoo!
Awesome. So that was pretty productive.
I love editing. It's so much easier.
Me too.
You guys.
Agree.
I do too. I agree.
It's like the comfort of knowing you have something at least.
Well, because it's easier. You can see what's wrong with it. It's usually not as bad as I think it is, but even if it is, I usually see what's wrong and figure out how to fix it.
100%. Yeah.
Nothing and yeah.
I like seeing how good it looks afterwards, but I do not like the process.
Mm.
I'm taking a photo, everybody, so smile. Okay, got it. Oh, more people popped on. We'll do one more photo. If anybody wants to be in the photo, you got 2 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Woo, 869, Lana. That's awesome.
That is really impressive.
Woof.
Kathleen says she looks like
death. No way. Yeah, I doubt
we
that.
still love you.
Yeah, no, it's gonna all have to go though. I am the worst drafter where I write really fast, but it's a mess, a huge mess. So
That's okay. That's okay. I'm the same way. You pull it down.
Sarah, was it you that said you were a musician?
Uh-huh.
That's so cool. The book I'm writing right now is about a musician.
Oh, cool.
What did you play?
I was an Irish fiddle player for about 10 years. And my husband is a saxophone player, and he's been, like in rock bands and jazz bands and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I also have
Tracy
my next one with musicians.
Say that again?
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, me, or was there somebody else at the same time?
I think it was you.
Okay. Yeah, my next one is also about musicians. I didn't see who the other person was.
It was me.
Oh yeah. So what kind of thing are you writing?
It's a mystery thriller. I can never decide which of those branches I'm fully going down, mystery or thriller, but it's a singer turns up dead and then
okay. And like a pop music kind of singer, or
yeah.
Okay, I'm doing classical musicians. It's a women's fiction comedy thing.
Oh, nice.
I work with opera singers in my non-writing job.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Cool.
So much music. Tracy, what was the question you had for people?
Oh, so we were wondering what is there anything specific people are struggling with like tonight and what you're writing? Like, are there specific things you're trying to deal with and what you're working on?
Or something that everyone could like help you with if you need like
storm or share or yeah.
I have one. Could I get a babysitter?
No. Sorry, if we were nearby, we could.
I know. I have a 15-year-old daughter who would be perfect.
Even my 10-year-old would be great. I mean, almost 10-year-old. She could, if we were all in the same house, she could hang out with somebody.
Yeah, I would totally send her down the block to you if you were down the block.
Yeah.
I'll send Emma with her. Nobody's struggling. So, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
I have a question.
What was the question again? Sorry, can you repeat?
Well, we were just wondering about, I mean, what you're writing right now. What are the challenges? What are you working with? I'm trying to I'm playing out a scene about some past issues with 2 characters I'm still kind of trying to get to know. But anyway, does anybody have anything things they want to crowdsource.
I think Deanna had something. What were you going to say?
So have any of you ever written something in like then went back and changed the tense, like gone from past to present or vice versa?
Sarah's doing this right now.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do that. I wrote so much and yes, and it was awful. Okay, great. I bet see the chats over here. I usually write in past tense, but it kind of hit me. I think this would be better in present. And so
first person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a really big change, I think, going from anything to first person present is
it's great. I wrote my last book in it and it takes forever to get used to, but it's wonderful. Well, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I keep tripping over it, but I think it would make more sense if it was present tense.
Have you written in first person present before?
I have not.
Yeah.
Are you in first person past now, or are you in third person past? Yeah.
Oh, so you're literally just changing the tense.
Yes, and then I'm also changing, like one of my main characters, I'm changing to a woman now, was a male point of view. Yeah, so it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm my last book was in third past after originally writing it in first present, which I changed. And now the one I'm writing is third present. So I find myself, and sometimes I don't even notice it, but my writing critique partners will say, you're doing it. I see you, like they'll like highlight all the ones that so I'll comb through it, and you just have to change. You have to, like, I even found I probably did it tonight, but it's not that bad. I think you just have to kind of flex it and practice with it, and then hopefully it'll start sticking. I'm like a quarter of the way through, so I'm like, I hope it starts sticking maybe halfway through. I don't know, maybe somebody else knows when I'm going to stop doing that.
I'm switching from
thanks, Toby.
I'm just switching from third past to first past, which is not actually that big of a change. But I feel like, so I wrote my last book in first person present. I feel like that is like the ultimate close narrative distance. Like there is no narrative distance in first present. You are like right in, like the more you are completely inside the person's head, the better, I think, in first present. You know, like cut out all the filter language, like all of these, you know, I heard or I saw or any of that stuff. Like we are right there in your head, seeing through your eyes, feeling through your body, you know. And it's super fun. It was like really hard to stop writing like that, you know. Like I'm struggling with this first past, which is just a little more narrative distance, you know.
I always write in third past, but I usually know when I start a scene whose point of view I'm in. But occasionally, because I write it's almost like, I think of it as like rehearsing a play. So I write a very rough draft of a scene often first. It's kind of like often just dialogue. And sometimes at that point, I'm not sure whose point of view I'm in, or usually I think I know, but then sometimes I change it. And that can be, and then occasionally in edit rounds, I'll go back and I'll realize I've missed something, or I'll realize I had two really good ideas and they depend on being in two different viewpoints. And then I have to pick which one I'm going to use. And then I have to try to salvage the thing that I'm cutting somewhere else in the book if possible, which is, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions about anything?
Yeah, I was thinking about backstory. You know, like how when you read I'm writing a romance, they just do such a good job of like reimagining a scene that happened in the past, sometimes in the present when they are, you know, like in their head or something. Like when I read stuff like that, I don't realize the author doing it, but I'm like, how do I do it?
I think that's hard, and I think it's something that takes practice. And I think studying scenes like that are so good that you don't even realize it until you're like, oh my gosh, they did that. That's really helpful. I know for me, some of the key things are keeping them short and really related to what is going on in the moment. Like you can't just have a random flashback, like it has to relate. And then just having like a smooth transition back into where they are now. Those are the things that have helped me. I know if I get more than a page of flashback, it doesn't, at least for my writing, it doesn't feel good. But anybody else have any suggestions? and then
makes sense.
we'll start sprinting again.
Yeah, my
Yes.
advice for this would be if you, sorry, you might hear my kids in the background. If you're in a writing groove and you usually like stay in that writing groove, pause and do the flashback at some completely other time so that it puts you in a different room or in a different place. Oh my God. I'm going to mute myself now because there's burps happening.
Oh, we can hear 'em. It's cool.
I think there was
Moms Writers
just
Club.
a class on backstory that was it Bianca Murray who did it or was it Cece?
Yes, I think.
Okay,
Bianca.
I didn't see the class, but if you're really wanting to just nail that, I would go to their page and I think you can go, even if it's past, I think you can have access to past classes for some fee, maybe fee or not.
Oh, really?
But
Oh,
there
I
was a
was.
whole class, yeah, so it'd be perfect for you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
class
did see it, but I kept wondering, I must have missed it. So, I didn't know I could rewatch it or, go up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, so it's almost 7 here on the West Coast, so we'll go till about 7:30. So you guys want to do a 25-minute sprint and then we'll stop and chat a little bit at the end and then call it a night? Great. So let's go to 7:25. So it'll be almost half an hour.
Okay. So that'll
All right.
be 10:25 Eastern.
Okay.
All right.
And go. Okay.
Hi there.
Hi,
Hi.
Melanie. I'm Mia.
Come on.
The children have invaded you guys.
Yeah.
The tall one.
Miles, come on.
No.
Come on.
No, it's all right. The tall one does not want to show their face.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
You have a very talented mom.
So do you. And so does that little nugget back on your couch there. Wow. Okay.
Oh, hi, Emma.
No nuggets.
Emma, do you want to come say hi?
Hi.
Oh my God. Okay,
Mike, it
so
just got whacked in the face.
I'm looking at project targets.
Your hair, Emma.
Okay, this was really productive. I'm at -10 words.
But you probably would have.
No, I needed to do it. It needed to.
Yeah.
I'm still massaging it from third person past to first person past, and you know,
That's
doing a little editing in progress. So.
Melanie, how many words mommy wrote?
I forgot.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the project target. See, how many words did mommy write?
1,606.
And how many was I supposed to write?
767.
I haven't had this good a writing day on this book yet, I think.
Mommy.
Yeah. Do you recognize some of these people?
Yeah, that is my beta new son.
You see Safa or Toby?
Yeah, I want to say hi to my beta new son.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
How did everybody else do?
I'm doing great. I'm creating like scene after scene. Sorry, I interrupted someone.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Who else?
Yeah.
Oh, she's bored with us now.
I just saw somebody wrote, oh my goodness.
2,291 total with this sprint.
Okay, I just.
Oh
my goodness. That's amazing.
Oh
Kathleen got 1,200.
I saw that. Yeah.
How fast does she type? 100 words per second?
That's a lot.
Oh my God, there's just so many.
That's awesome.
Does anybody else find it's like way easier this way to not get distracted? I mean, when I'm not sprinting and on video with a bunch of other people, it's so much easier to check social media or get up and make a cup of tea or do all kinds of things that wasn't doing tonight.
Yeah, I like writing sprints for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, every time somebody came on, it like shocked me because I have the screen hidden, but I can hear, and it's been really quiet. And then when you're like, it's time, I'm always like, what? You're like totally like shook, which is good.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I just like sat and like typed instead of getting distracted. A lot better.
Yeah. And I think I was less self-critical because I wanted to, it was easier to keep going. Now, who knows when I look at what I wrote, what I'll think of it, but it was easier to get words down for me. So that was good.
Yeah, Susan, I'm with you about writing a couple of sentences. I mean, you know, like props to you all with your awesome word counts, but
and don't try yourself.
I'm just like, I'm feeling good about my -10 words here.
You worked hard to figure out that you had to delete everything you wrote. That's not easy.
I know.
I think it also depends on where you're at. I mean, I was actually nervous about this because I've been struggling a bit, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be on Zoom supposedly writing, and I will not be able to write anything. And then I kind of worked through a plot thing last night that pushed me into the next scene. I thought, okay, this is a good point to be at when I'm supposed to be sprinting. So
yeah,
I think that's true too.
Well, it was an awesome night. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about or any questions or anything they want to discuss?
Hey guys, can you guys hear me? Oh good, my microphone's I finally fixed it. I know you guys know a lot about PitNad, so I was gonna ask, do you guys think that in December there, like a lot of agents will still be participating, or with it being like the end of the year and everything, is it not as good a time to like be doing those types of things?
I personally say do it every single time because you never know. The other thing is the fact you're asking this question makes me think other writers are going to think the same thing. So there probably will be fewer agents, but there will also probably be fewer authors.
Okay.
So I say just have your pitches ready and do every single event because you never know.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Thanks.
And the other thing is, I know that I haven't ever done PitMad, but I know that they really take off between Christmas and New Year's, but otherwise they're there in December. So, you know, and unlike authors who may be writing around other things and busy with family, the editors and agents have to be at work. It's their work day, so they're going to be working.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys. This was super fun.
Oh, good. Thanks for coming. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
I just wanted to ask about more along the lines of the editing process. As I've been drafting, I keep putting in these things like, oh, go research X, Y, and Z. And when during the editing process, do you guys like to actually start really digging down and like researching those topics?
For me, it depends. Some of the things I find that I get more ideas for the book by doing some of the research. So some of it I kind of do in that first draft, but things I feel like I can put off, I personally research it during my first round of revisions. But I think Sarah and Tracy probably do it differently, and anyone else if they want to chime in.
I mean, I have some things I need to know to plot the book to even write the first draft. And then I have other things I look up, like Jessica in the first major revision. And then there are little things like in one book, I had this line about he closed the door with the click of a household where they always use. And I was going to put in something about whatever they would use to oil the hinges of a door in 1820 in London. And I couldn't find it. I spent a long time looking for it in like a very late revision round. And finally I said, oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm just going to say with the click of well-oiled hinges, no one else is going to care. And then there are also times when I decide I want to add detail about a dress in revisions, and like late in the process, I just want to add some detail, and I'll be having a really good editing day, and then I'll be Googling for 3 hours just because it's fun to look at fashion. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to save it. I'm writing a book about a mathematician right now, and I know nothing about math. And so there's lots of things in brackets right now, like insert whatever.
Oh my God, that's a nightmare.
No, it's really cool actually, but
it's a nightmare. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, like
you're gonna read this book.
No, I meant like, just to even, I wouldn't even know where to start, because I want to interview informal interview investment banker.
Oh,
my husband works for an investment bank. So, I mean, he works in the technology department, but I'm using his resources.
Oh yeah, my sister's in finance.
But even in that, I'm like, so I can't even imagine a mathematician.
I know, but it's really cool. I mean, it's like really massively creative, poetic stuff. It's really great. But, it's work for me to like take that language and work it into my story. So I have a lot of stuff in brackets. And I know the type of thing that I'm going to fill those brackets in with, but I don't know, like when I'm drafting, sometimes I feel like, okay, this is something I can fill in later. And, probably first round of revisions. Unless
are you going to interview a mathematician?
I already have sent a bunch.
Oh, nice.
I connected with this woman on Twitter, and who's like a postdoc, theoretical mathematician. She's super cool. And she answered all my questions and like gave me all this interesting feedback about
I still haven't found my investment banker. So
what it's like to be a woman in math and all this. It's really cool.
Yeah, my main character is a CRISPR scientist.
Oh, cool.
And that's not my field of expertise at all. So yeah, it's like there's some things you have to know to even know where the story can go. And then there's some, I also don't want to write it. I want to write it for people who aren't CRISPR scientists, you know, so I don't want to get too down into the weeds of it, but you do kind of need to know a lot more than you would. So it's like
detail to get like that verisimilitude, but
yes,
you know, that kind of stuff I think can come later once you have the fundamentals down.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you have a draft, you often know exactly what you need. So you don't get lost as much in like researching forever. You know, once you know the places when you need to fill in, like you were saying, Sarah, like then you know sort of exactly what you need for those places.
Yeah, like once you've got it from beginning to end. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good question. All right, anybody else?
Ooh,
any questions?
Yeah, I have a finance person if you need another one, Sajna.
All right, well, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was great.
So fun.
We will